But ultimately, bottom line is this: the politics won't change until people change.
Mm.
And people change when we are willing to change and get out there and be part of the change by helping educate and change the hearts and minds of the people around us. Politics is this yo-yo, Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden, who's next? I hope Governor DeSantis, 2024, whatever,
Yeah.
President DeSantis then. But it keeps yo-yoing at the federal level. We're building the groundswell so that when it yo-yos the right direction, it stays there and it's all the way there.
And I think you were going to talk to the fact that sometimes people are playing it a little too safe on our
Oh
side.
my goodness, big time. I mean, I'm honestly incredibly encouraged to hear someone so deep down in the movement actually say that they have that much hope for some change and some serious policy-related change.
Yeah.
Because in our short lives, I think we've seen far too much from conservatives talking a huge game.
Yes.
We're going to go to Washington with the Tea Party and we're going to defund Planned Parenthood. Donald Trump is going to go to the White House and he's going to defund Planned Parenthood. And these Republicans, they talk that huge game, and for some reason they get there and they are just too scared of the media, too scared of their constituents who they are not in touch with, to actually see some real fortified change. You speak about that a little bit in the book. I'm wondering, can you give our audience a little bit of what you've seen from the lawmakers and legislators on our side, some of that cowardice, and how are we as folks in the movement who are not policymakers, how are we supposed to influence those policymakers to actually represent the will of the people, not just their own interests?
That's a really good question. I talk about this in multiple chapters as far as tactics as activists. And one of those chapters is focus, doggedly demanding your political objective, even when your political allies are scared, and continuing to, hold their feet to the fire. Yes, there have been a lot of disappointments in the last 10 years politically on abortion, but there also have been unprecedented victories. So we're definitely moving the right direction. I mean, before I started pro-life work, nobody had even touched Planned Parenthood funding at the state level or at the federal level. After doing investigative reporting and starting that, 10 states defunded Planned Parenthood. And then there was a bipartisan majority vote in the House of Representatives for the first time in history, in Planned Parenthood history, in our history, to defund Planned Parenthood of all their taxpayer dollars. Then President Trump did something unprecedented, and he actually defunded Title X, a particular funding mechanism for Planned Parenthood. Yeah. So, while we didn't finish the job under Trump, Planned Parenthood actually ended up getting more money through Medicaid, so that's another story. There were unprecedented strides forward. And so we have to celebrate those wins while demanding a lot more. And I do talk in the book about how I was, in one political meeting and I'm the activist, giving this presentation. And it was at the time the chief of staff for the Speaker of the House, Republican. And we were demanding, don't put Planned Parenthood funding in the budget. The House holds the purse strings. They send the budget for the government to the Senate to approve it, which then goes to the president. But they get to decide what goes in that budget. And so we were saying as activists and advocates, just saying, don't do it. Do not put abortion facilities, prohibit them in the budget from funding. Why are they getting money under a Republican Congress? And the chief of staff, for this, or one of the top folks for this, Republican politician said, you can't ask us to do this because, Obama will shut down the government and then it will be on the front page of Politico that the Republicans did this. And I remember just thinking, okay, first of all, who in America reads Politico anyways, and the media is crazy, always has been. You're hired to do the job, do your job. If I took my cue as an activist and as a nonprofit leader and as a boss, if I took my cue from what Politico does or the Washington Post or the New York Times, I would be the most inadequate leader ever, right? So if you're a leader, you lead. And that means doing what's unpopular because it's right for the sake of others. And so I think there are some more politicians, more and more like that. We got to work at it. But ultimately, bottom line is this: the politics won't change until people change. And people change when we are willing to change and get out there and be part of the change by helping educate and change the hearts and minds of the people around us. Politics is this yo-yo, Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden, who's next? I hope Governor DeSantis, 2024, whatever, President DeSantis then. But it keeps yo-yoing at the federal level. We're building the groundswell so that when it yo-yos the right direction, it stays there and it's all the way there. And that's ultimately what the cultural change we're working towards can accomplish.